Text me and I'll text you back.
Text me and I'll text you back.
Text me and I'll text you back.
You text me then I'll text you back.
Text me then I'll text you back.
TikTok, you don't stop.
I will help you make your paper stack.
Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at now?
205-964-5243. You know. 205-964-5243. You know.
Good evening. We're here for Flippinar 223, May 26th. Got the full house in here. We're here to talk about real estate investing with a strong emphasis on wholesaling real estate where your cash or credit really doesn't matter. Low risk, high reward. Today's topic, how soon should I set up an LLC for my real estate? How soon should I set up a LLC to wholesale real estate? Boom. There we go.
That's it.
All right. So, but anyway, before we get started, real quick, before I turn to AP, if you want to join us on the live stream, just text the word Gator to the number. You can have your own personal seminar. Over to you, AP.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us this Thursday evening. Hopefully all of you are well and thriving. And it looks like you want to start building some wealth using real estate. So you're in the right place. Again, this is where we talk about wholesaling real estate with little to no cash or credit and other real estate investment opportunities. So thank you for joining us here. We're live across all social media platforms. We do have the Flipman with us, along with the beautiful Miss Renikia and myself, the voice, Adria. I've called myself the voice. The voice, yes. That's what I am. I see you guys, Antoine, Joseph, Yvette. Thank you for joining us. Go ahead and start posting those questions that are across TikTok and Instagram. I see you _Redan Thrive _2021. Norland SS, you just joined. Carolina Lou and SRJR46 and Cassie RJ. Thank you for joining us as well. Post your questions in the chat boxes and the comment sections on both of those, and I will read those questions as well. And as Ty mentioned, text the word Gator, GATOR, to the number 205-964-5243 is there at the bottom of your screen to join us live. Ask your questions and any follow-up questions that you may have, and we would love to have you. Antoine, the investor, I do see your chat question there. Very first one, absolutely. I'm just going to go ahead and throw this up there, guys. We will most definitely get into the services Renikia's company can offer you. But some of you are asking how to get in contact with her directly. There's a number on your screen. How to contact Ms. Williams. She is available across all social media platforms as well. But that number is 770-246-2307. This is directly to her office. Leave a message if no one answers, and please allow 48 to 72 hours for someone to reach back out to you. All right. So we're going to jump right back into this thing. And our first question is going to be from Joseph. After you get an executed contract, can you wait to open and deposit escrow 10 days after your inspection period? So how soon do you have to get that money over to someone to hold?
I think that's a really great question. And the key is really based on, I don't think I'm echoing. The key is really based on what's in your contract. So if what's in your contract is 3 days due diligence period, honestly, most sellers want you to deposit that immediately upon executing that contract. However, you do have the ability to kind of stretch it out during your due diligence period because you have the ability to walk away from the contract. So I would say it would be in between immediately upon executing that contract and between the end date of your due diligence is when that money is really, really due in order to execute your contract effectively.
Yeah, just it's when you should put up the EMD. Well, that's what they're asking, right? When should you put up the earnest money deposit? Is it before or after?
No, when you put it in escrow.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's whatever you negotiate. You know, what did you negotiate? again, their expectations is ASAP, within 1, 2, 3 business days or whatever. So, but it's whatever you negotiate.
All right, David Hernandez. We need to talk to you. They say I got my first deal on lock, $67,500. So when that check gets in your hand, David, we would absolutely love to hear your story.
I'm through 2022.
Is he saying he made that much, or that's what he
That's a good
expected?
It just says on lock, so maybe that's what we're expecting. If
Okay.
it goes through and you get that check in hand,
Yeah.
first of all, I like chicken. And then other than that, we love to hear your story. Let's see here. Joseph Pedri, hopefully I said that correctly. Can I use the contract in Utah?
Oh yeah, you can use it in Utah. You can use it in UTAH for sure. Just a simple agreement. Understand that you and a seller can literally write up a contract on their kitchen table and be binding. Who's the seller? Who's the buyer? Selling price. The date you all think you all want to close. You might want to add in there some form of due diligence. Don't have to. Obviously, it could get a lot more complicated, but that would be an executable contract. Both of y'all sign it, date it, boom. Again, you could always add more information in there. And who's going to pay closing costs? And what they're going to be responsible for. Ideally, they should be responsible for any unpaid taxes, mortgages, or liens, or whatever. But it's all negotiable. So yes, that contract will work in the state of Utah.
All right, thank you for that.
Matter of fact, just a real funny, something funny. Let me see. Over the weekend, I was at home. I just say one of my relatives. One of my other relatives, I'll say that too. They own some land and allowed another relative to live on it for like at least 20 something years.
Uh-oh.
And the only thing they probably giving them each year is probably maybe less than $1,000 in a over the course of a year. Probably less than $300 over the course of any one given year. So, but taxes still have to be paid on the property or whatever. They have a mobile home on there, and so that individual moved off the land, and so the family that owns it, wants to because the actual parent that owns the land really wasn't that aggressive about, because it was her family member or whatever. And so one of the kids of the owner went and put a note on the property, and he moved next door. The guy that used to live all them years, he moved basically next door from nowhere. And so, he gave her, but it was handwritten on the notice. The notice was handwritten. And when I read it, I said, "Oh, you ain't playing." I said, "It's handwritten."
He got a pen and paper out for that.
Hey, it's just as legal as anything else, So, oh boy.
What he asking them to move off the land?
Well, they want them to move the mobile home off the land because it's really just a piece of junk. When they try, it ain't gonna move. I don't know how they're gonna move it. It's gonna cost some money to move it.
Burn it.
It's gonna cost some money to move because it's like probably a late '60s, early '70s trailer, and it's just gonna it's
gonna fall apart.
It might make it. So they just want to move it next door to where they at now. You know what I'm saying? That's where it needs to go. You just need to get all.
You're gonna pay $5,000-$10,000 to move it next door.
Yeah.
Put it down on the new one.
Yeah. So anyway,
you still gotta move it.
It was handwritten.
All right. Executable.
He had a photo of it.
Of the note he put on the dock. Because I'm gonna bottle it up and throw it away. What note? What you leave?
I ain't seen nothing.
Ball in love and just put it in my what note?
What
Do
note?
something.
Exactly. You gotta serve me.
So Troy wants to know, do you have a texting script?
All right. Wants to know, do you have a texting script? Technically, no. And the reason being is that if you put that out there and you got thousands of people using the same script, see the phone companies, the carriers, AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, those are the big three. They try to quote unquote protect their customers. So if everybody's sending the same similar messages, it makes it easier for them to put those in the spam buckets or whatever to prevent those. So just be creative. Which I get text messages on properties I owned over 10 years ago, and they just go direct. I'm still getting them, so I guess they're getting through. But no, there's some of them are real creative. They'll just make like they know you or whatever, or know the person in a sense. Just a simple thing like I don't know. Depending on what text platform you use, if you use what I recommend, I don't even know how I got that far in the explanation without pulling this out. Text the word text, and this video will show you a lot on how to properly use it. But I'm trying to think of something. So you'll send a message, and it'll automatically allow you to put their first name, last name, or both in there by just a tag that you can add. So you don't have to literally add it; it'll do it for your entire list. But you'll be like, "Hi, John. I don't know.
You at a loss.
I'm trying to put something out there. I'll think about it in a minute and give you something that I'll think about something. I know how to go about it the way we go about it or whatever.
So why can't it just be saying, "Hey, John, I missed your call. Call me back as soon as possible"?
It could be that.
Yeah, I mean, you're just trying to catch their attention. They're gonna call back and be like, "Who are you?" Oh, glad you called back. Do you own such and such and such and such and such?
It could be that. What she said.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
you
doesn't
only
have
have
to
so
have
many
anything
chances.
to do with
You
real
really
estate.
try to want to avoid saying something about the house initially.
Yeah.
A lot of them will get through, but over time you'll end up, those numbers will end up as spam or whatever. But
and even flag them, make them curious. Like, "Hey, John, passed by your house."
No, you don't want to say house.
Well, you don't want to say house. Passed by earlier. No one was there. Call me back. And you didn't say home. You didn't say house, and they want to know you passed by where. Call you back for what? You just want to get them on the phone, but just leave out those words.
Then so when they follow up, say,
I passed by your house, and I was trying to see if you would sell it.
Buying a house in the area, the house looked vacant or whatever at such and such address.
Yeah.
Boom.
But because it's like once they respond to you from that initial message, now you can start saying. So even if they respond and be like, "Pass by where?"
Get creative. Get creative. You just need them to respond. They don't have to mention nothing about a house. You need to them initial. I've had people just to text me, Tyrone. And I'm like, I don't know what it is, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And they did it like 4 days in a row, and I finally responded. "Hey, do you would like to sell such and such?" Then they hit me up when I responded, like, "Who is this?" Then they responded, "Would you like to sell your house at such and such or whatever?" But they didn't do anything until I responded.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So use that as a example.
That's what they did, and it worked. They just
the name,
just the first name.
Yeah. So JBaby 007, will there be any more interviews of people completing their first deal?
I've had a couple of that I should have been able to put together, whatever, and it's been on me. People that wanted to do it. So it'll be more coming. I just got to get my what together. So just time, because I normally personally like to edit those videos, and that's time consuming. Or shooting the video is just 30-40 minutes because we just talk. It's really no big deal or whatever. But the editing part of it, Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do better.
Okay.
I'm gonna do better.
So Karen or Carone, Arlene says, how do I advertise a house with no car? So is a car really necessary in advertising?
Yeah, he's asked that question several times. I thought I've answered it, but
Not today.
it's not necessary. It don't hurt none. It so help. But if you're online, you have internet. That's all you need. Now you're gonna have to go about it differently. You're gonna be networking your butt off or whatever. Now I'm assuming if you don't have a card, it doesn't automatically mean that you may not have a significant marketing budget. It doesn't mean that, but I'm just assuming that. So now you're going to need to network your butt off, and first try to build you a buyer's list for any particular market that you're operating in. One simple way you can do it is you can leverage relationships with real estate agents that deal with flippers. And this video right here will explain how to do that. Once you accomplish that, then now you're all over the internet, searching for wholesalers that are posting their deals, and you're going to wholesale their deals. So no car required, no GED required, no college degree required to do that.
And then I would add to that as well. I mean, for if you don't want to drop for dollars, I mean, that's totally fine. I think cold calling is probably going to be one of your best friends. Building those lists, making those phone calls, sending those text messages out. You got to focus more on Wi-Fi to connect with your buyers. So every aspect of marketing, from texting, from building your list, from cold calling, from posting on your social media, from getting into these groups on social media, from putting out maybe bait leads on Craigslist. I mean, I think all of that's going to be your best friend if you don't want to get it. If you don't have a car to utilize, is just utilizing what's your tools on the internet.
Yep. Also, I held up a couple of cards here. She mentioned cold calling. You can put that on steroids. You can do it with your smartphone. That still will work. But you can use a dialer to speed up the process. That'll go a long way with you making calls. I mean, again, we said text messaging. This video here will show you how to set that up. Boom. All right. You may not want to do the cold calling yourself. You might want to pay someone to do it. We got that for you too. You can have your own virtual assistants. You can use who we use to scale and do your virtual assistant. More than got me paid. VIP, this video here explains how to, it's more like a step-by-step process or whatever. My man Greg suggested that I do that, so I put that together for those, because my videos are not in any certain order on YouTube, but that's the ones put like 9. It's 19 videos, but 9 of them, the first 9 are really key at getting you to understand the entire process. So thank you all for that softball, Karan. To promote some of this stuff. Keep the lights on around here.
All right. Double X Game, Double X Chris says, hey, how can I get started doing real estate wholesaling in Dallas, Texas? Is Dallas one of those?
We sort of just went through that with everything I just promoted. You need to market. You've already started.
Well, I wasn't sure whether Texas was one of those places that had restriction on wholesaling. Okay.
You're Dallas top 5 market as far as population, right? So there's tons of opportunity going to be there. You just need to market. First, you need to, here we go. You start here. You need to text VIP so you can understand the process. And then all those cards I held up a moment ago, that helps you to start to market your butt off, generating leads. The name of the game, this is very simple. I ain't saying it's easy, but it's very simple. Your primary job is to contact as many people that own real estate as possible. Some of those individuals will talk to you. Well, let me back up. Your primary job is to contact as many people that own real estate as possible. Some of them won't talk to you. Some of them, when they do talk to you, they're going to be very rude. Some will be nice. Some of them that do talk to you, yeah, they will be interested in selling the property. but they're going to want to probably sell it more than what makes sense. But guess what? Enough of them, some of them are going to want to sell cheap enough where you can make money.
Mm-hmm.
That's there's no, like, people like, what's the first thing I need to do? First, you need to understand the process. And then you need to understand, what do I need to do on a daily basis to generate daily leads, to talk to enough people that own real estate? If you're targeting houses specifically, then boom. If you're targeting land also, or one or the other, then boom. You need to be targeting those. So I've spent a lot of time here talking about, I'm offering tools, free, some paid, combination of both, to allow you to do that, because that's the name of the game, is talking to enough people that own real estate to get to deals. Remember this, most won't, but enough will.
Mm-hmm.
There you have it.
Mhm.
Renikia. So
Mhm.
this is from jsmooth_anderson.2 on Instagram. And they want to know, is the real estate market crashing? And my question is, if it is, wouldn't that be a good thing?
Exactly. Exactly. It would be a good thing. The real estate market crash right now, as a real estate investor, is a gold mine. We're able to pick up. I mean, we had 2009 again. Do you understand the values that the properties went to in 2009, that is skyrocketed now? So it's a good thing if it did crash, but no, I don't think we're not heading into another crash. I mean, interest rate is at an all-time high. And what's going to cause that is, would buyers continue to buy during a time where interest rate at an all-time high? But, one thing I will understand about real estate is, hey, if no one's buying, guess what they're doing? Renting. So the landlord and the cash flow for rent now is coming a time where you can name your rent, because if people ain't going to buy, then they're going to take whatever rent that's out there right now. So it's really understanding the market like a science, to understand when one goes down, something's going to go up, and you got to understand what that wave is so you can ride the next wave during that moment right there. So, but right now, I think as real estate investors, we need to continue to buy, continue to build, and understanding how big the rental market is going to be right now during a time where people maybe slow down from buying as much when interest rates was at 2% versus a 6%, 5% now. So prepare
Yeah,
yourself. Prepare yourself.
yeah. At the end of the day, people still gonna buy or whatever. You know why they're gonna start to buy now? The price is gonna come down, so it's still gonna sort of level.
It's going to level up.
Now, if I could predict this stuff, I'll be doing something else. But I'll just tell you what I think now. It's just gonna level out at the end of the day, unless they start to make it a law that all real estate is free. There will be endless opportunities,
Right.
regardless if it's up or down. Go watch the movie Trading Places with Eddie Murphy. And when Eddie Murphy was a homeless guy. Now, if you never watched it before, and these guys wanted to play a trick on him and a guy that had some bread. They want them to trade places and see who could survive. And so when they were explaining, they were stockbrokers. So, back then you didn't have the internet, so you literally had to depend on other people to trade stocks for you for the most part, right? That still exists, but it really existed before the internet. And this was in the 80s. So they were explaining to him that they make money whether the stock market goes down or whether it goes up. We're the same thing with real estate. You just have to adjust what's going on or whatever. And Eddie Murphy told me when they explained, he said, yeah, you are like a couple of bookies. If you know anything about gambling, they make money regardless of who wins or whatever. So you're like a couple of bookies. Anyway.
It's a beautiful thing. You just gotta understand the market, and when you understand the market, I mean, this is my play as an investor. Right now, if you're building and flipping right now, hey, for the next year to 2 years to 3 years, do owner financing to your client. for 2 years, and then have them to kind of buy you out in 2 years when the interest rate goes down. The key is really understanding this market, and when you really understand, you will never lose because you'll figure out the option to get around it. One thing I understand about real estate is one of them things where the values may go down, but it doesn't get less desirable. Real estate is one of the main things that it's a necessity to life. So when the values go down, we still desire it because we need it. So just maneuver with the market.
Shelter.
All right. Thank you for answering. Brandon, where'd you go? Brandon was down there ready to join us.
We were talking to him.
Yeah, he'll come back. He's been consistently on here every week, getting his questions answered. I encourage each of you to do that as well. Let's flip to TikTok. Copo25 wants to know, I know of an apartment building for sale on the market for just $170K holding 30 units. Should I wholesale it?
What's that per unit?
Is it operational? Is it the fire damage? Is it 30 units for 170?
Is it cash flow? Is it occupied?
Need more information. That sounds not real. I don't care where it is.
Okay, Capo.
It's just in terrible shape.
All right, so Capo, either add that additional.
They said it was on the market. I know if it was on the
market.
market.
It's like 5,000 a unit, isn't it? It's like 5,000 a unit.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
7,000. So that has to be probably dilapidated.
Yeah.
For rehab.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Capo, either add more information, details in the chat box, or just text Gator and join us live, and you can answer the follow-up questions to that.
Yeah, you said 10,000. Yeah.
All right, Brandon. Always on the road. How you doing?
Hey, what's going on?
I'm good.
I had a question as far as for Flipman. I remember you were saying when you first started your second deal, there was a mortgage. The seller had a mortgage in place, and then you set them up on the lease option. And then I just wanted to ask you, what was like the functionality of the paperwork that you used that made you come up with that deal?
Actually, it was the first deal. That's the one that blew up in my face. Yeah. Now I was green as the Green Goblin, but the way that particular deal worked, which I know a lot more about lease options than I can explain the process, but it's just all about the paperwork on that. You want to verify whatever the mortgage situation is. You want to become an authorized user, or not really user, but someone that can actually call and get information about the account. Whenever you're doing the lease option, what you would like to do, assuming you're trying to stay in the deal and not just set up the terms and wholesale it, is you want to, I want to get it at what they owe on it, right? I want them to be really motivated to do this. So I want to get it at what they owe on it. The next thing is, ideally, you want this thing to cash flow based on the payment amount that's owed on the property. Okay, and a simple example is, say the mortgage is $1,000, but it's in a rental area where the rents are only about $1,100. That wouldn't be something I would probably want to get into or whatever. That I'm saying, like, that's the max you could probably get. Now, you may be able to get a little more because someone may really want that opportunity to have home ownership, or just keeping it simple. If you're in a rental area where the rents are, like the like 1,500 to 1,700, then yeah, that's a pretty decent cash flow on $1,000 payment. So you can have a spread of $500 in cash flow. On top of that is that down payment, that fee that you collect for even allowing them to do the lease option / rent on. I mean, I'm talking about the tenant buyer. All right. So depending on the neighborhood, the house, sometimes you can, obviously, I'm gonna say obviously, 2,500, 5,000, 15,000, 20, 25,000. Sometimes you can get a significant amount, depending on the neighborhood, because you'll have people that have money, but either don't have the credit or don't want to use it for whatever reason to do that. So And then on top of that, with the lease option, ideally you want to set it up. Say they owe, we'll just say they owe $200,000, but
Right.
it's a $250,000 ARV on it. So 2 to 3 years, ideally you want to be able to capture that back end on it also, which would be another payday potential. So you pay it off to 200, whatever the difference would be, what you sell it to them for, say it's 250. You may give them a little option to pay some of it down. I think you have to be careful with that, depending on the state. You get the difference if they ever close on it by getting a normal mortgage, so they can literally own it or whatever. But ideally, that's the process. You'll come in a lot of cases. Well, you'll have if you offer that, you'll have those opportunities probably more so than you will with actual wholesale opportunities. You'll have more people open to doing that, or the situation fits that more if you're doing the proper amount of marketing that you should be doing. And lease option is just a form of owner financing. But
Okay.
you want to be in total control of those situations. It don't need to be a seller that's iffy about it, and because you want to be able to send the payments directly to the lender. You want to control everything. You want to control everything when you're doing those. That need to be really motivated, in my opinion. It doesn't need to be somebody you got to talk them into it. You explain it, and they want to do it. Period. Those can get ugly. Ask me, I know. So.
All right. So just so we understood, so you want to have control of the property, like the ownership rights, and then you'll pay that money that that your buyer that you set up, you're going to pay that money directly to the mortgage company or the lender.
Yeah, you keep the difference. Correct.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, I appreciate that. So I'll stay in tune. I'm gonna, like I said, just keep educating myself, and then start trying to land some deals. And then I'm starting to work on the prop stream now, and then I'm actually looking to build a buyer's list and my seller's list.
Okay. Yeah. Well, here you go. Boom. Hit that.
Okay.
You want to text buyers on that, and then text list to help you with building the list or whatever. So if you're using prop. If you haven't been trained on it, you can text time if you sign up through Digulator, and one of the team members here training you on that. Where you rolling at? Seems like you're driving.
Yeah, I'm roaming through New Mexico, headed into Arizona right now. We run from Pittsburgh to California every week.
Wow, you covering a lot of territory.
Yeah, every week, man, nonstop.
Oh,
so I want to find some some properties out in Arizona. I know you working with some guys out in like the Phoenix, Scottsdale area. I've been looking to get a property for myself, and then I heard it's a hot market over there too. So.
Oh yeah, it's hot out there in that Phoenix, Scottsdale area for sure. He gonna keep going.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us, Brandy. You have any other questions? You know what to do to get back live with us, and I appreciate you joining us every week. And be careful out there, okay?
All right. You already know. Hey, I appreciate y'all.
All right. Drive safe. Bye-bye. I like Brandon. Okay. So he mentioned that he was beginning to create his buyer's list and seller's list. So let's talk about the buyer's list. And this is from Mrs. Sharak on Instagram. I got a guy who keeps trying to get added to my buyer's list, but he wants to buy using conventional loans. Is that even possible if he is financing it?
Why don't he just go out there and buy my house? There's plenty of stuff on the MLS. If he got traditional finance, why don't you just go buy one? I don't know why he's bugging you.
And it all boils down to how quick his financing can finance the property. I mean, you may not have 3-4 weeks or 45 days or 35 days to allow him to do that. That's why a lot of people that do use loans that get cut out the market a little bit, because as a seller, you want to go who can close the quickest, and 9 times out of 10, a cash buyer is going to close quicker than a conventional loan financing type of buyer. So it really is up to you how long your contract is and can you wait on his conventional loan. But yeah,
Well,
like
the
I
main thing
stated, I
is
mean,
they're gonna,
there's a better situation on MLS for him.
yeah. The main thing is he's gonna make it very difficult. I mean, the lender is gonna make it very difficult for you as a wholesaler to even get paid.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna allow you to sign it.
no, you're gonna have to double close it for sure.
Yeah, I don't even know how they're gonna do that because the lender's gonna want to look at all the docs. They
So
want to see this
they want to see
person.
who owns the property. So they
Yeah,
will ask for your assignment contract. They will.
yeah.
And a lot of lenders are capping assignment contracts. They're capping your assignment. You know, a lot of lenders are at 20% max of your contract. Cap your fee. So there's just a lot of moving parts you got to think about when you're dealing with someone that want to get financing, and definitely traditional financing.
That's what I'm talking. That's what they're talking about. Traditional finance. I'm sure it's possible, but they're not letting you assign no contract.
Mm-mm.
Wells Fargo,
I mean,
Regional,
yeah,
they're not letting you assign a contract.
right,
So,
right.
no, that's what they're talking about. Convention,
hmm
a bank.
Yeah,
No, that's not happening. Now, I'm sure
right.
you can get a title company attorney, probably do some gray area stuff. I'm not recommending that. You know, so
Because they definitely going to ask if the seller on that contract is not the seller on property records. They definitely going to ask for the assignment contract, and it's going to be completely up to, like I stated, 9 times out of 10 they're not going to accept that. It's going to be completely up to that lender or to accept that contract. So
yeah,
there's a lot more moving parts with that.
yeah.
All right. Thank you for answering that. So Taquisha Joseph, again, hopefully guys, I always hope I pronounce y'all's names right. I think I try to read it phonetically correct, but Okay. The question is, how can I find a title place that's wholesale friendly? Do you just look up a few in the phone book and give them a call?
No,
Nope.
the worst thing you can do.
Okay.
It'll eventually work. I say that. You said phone book. People don't use phone
Okay. Do you Google? Yes, I said phone book. Okay. People still even have those?
No, they
Did
finally
you say phone book for me?
Gave up?
they
I
finally
did.
gave up. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Oh my God.
There's
The
a
phone
virtual
book
phone book.
comprehension, the phone book number.
We have a virtual phone book. I'm
I
talking
guess
about
I guess the directory is online now.
Yeah.
talking
Okay.
about physical dead trees. No.
Okay.
They finally gave up probably about 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
But anyway, what was the question?
See?
A wholesaler friendly. Just use the power of social media. You can use my Facebook group, Wholesaling Real Estate with the Flipman, and just request to join, and then just ask a question, or one of the local Facebook groups to whatever market you're targeting. Wholesaling Facebook group or real estate investment groups, and ask the question: what title companies are wholesaler friendly, or what closing attorney is wholesaler friendly in XYZ city, whatever the name of the city is. You should get plenty of referrals. But if you want to join the group, you can just text group to me, and we'll get you going in the right direction. But you just go to Facebook and just search for it.
That is
And that
correct.
usually going to come from fellow wholesalers, fellow colleagues. The easiest and quickest way is for you to ask your colleagues in the local market who they're using.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is from Instagram and it's Double Y Ray. And they want to know, can you do a cold call role play?
You mean like
You be the wholesaler and I'll be the caller. And I'll be the seller. Well, I'll be the whoever you're calling. Let's go.
Well, yeah, I actually have a couple of videos, but we'll try to pull that off or whatever.
Okay.
Whose phone rang?
You calling me?
Ring.
Hello.
I'm calling to speak to the owner about buying their property at 123 Main Street. Am I speaking to the right person?
Why?
I just said I'm calling to speak to the owner about buying their property at 123 Main Street. Am I speaking to the right person?
It's not for sale.
Okay. Well, If it's not for sale, do you have any other properties that you would be interested in selling?
My mama house in the country.
Do you have the address?
I do.
What is that address?
Are you a realtor? Is this about taxes? Is this a scam? What is this? What do you do?
Just an individual just trying to feed my family, man.
Okay. You got a website or a business card?
I'm a dinosaur.
You know what? Click. You just got hung up on.
You trying to be smart.
That is not how that's supposed to go
Right.
at all.
No, but I'm a down. You know, you say I'm a dinosaur, and this internet stuff. I'm still catching up, or whatever. So no, I don't have a website.
Okay.
And, buying real estate existed before the internet.
You're right. You're right. You're right.
Buying and selling, man.
Okay, but real talk. You do have a video with some sample.
Yeah. Just do
Cold calls.
man, motivated seller call.
Okay, but you
But
guys.
it's like record. Remove their names, their address, and all that stuff.
Mhm.
Whatever. So.
But guys, you very well may get that type of response
If you do it
on the
long,
other
it's gonna get
end.
worse.
Yeah. So yeah, I was mild. I didn't cuss nobody out.
But that's about how she would act anyway.
Whoa! Randy, you better get him. You're right, though. You're right.
I know you would.
Yeah, you're right.
That's called, and you having a good day today.
Whoa! Did you really just say that was me on a good day? Well, you ain't wrong. You're not wrong.
Oh
Okay.
my God, I
Okay.
can't even imagine. Oh,
Yeah.
but they ain't even gonna get that far with you. So
They wouldn't even get that far.
Yeah,
So
they're not even gonna get that far.
Guys, I'm not mean. Okay, it's not about me. Okay, so the next, let's see here. Let's go to Josh Weiser. I do like this. Okay, Randy, listen. Josh has a seller that will not sign his termination paperwork because repairs came back too high. Josh wants to know what to do now. I told the title company we are not going to close. So does the seller have to sign the termination paperwork, or do you just let the contract expire?
Are you inside your due diligence period or you're not? If you're not inside your due diligence period, I mean, you can terminate, but they're going to keep your earnest money, and you have every right to. But if you are within your due diligence period, send them that unilateral termination that you're terminating, regardless if they're signing or not, via email and create that paper trail that you're terminating your side of it. But when you're using like a real estate agent has this contract called a unilateral type of termination contract where the seller don't have to sign. You can just email it to them, your signature, and as long as your signature is on there, that contract is terminated. Now, on the outside of a realtor, I don't know what people out there using, but you're able to terminate your contract. But if you outside your due diligence, you can forfeit your earnest money.
Yeah, you like I said, it's all about your due diligence period. If you had one, you may not have had one in there in the agreement. So if you're outside of that, then they have full right to that EMD, which that's supposed to sell the agreement. They don't have to sign off on anything. You just send them an email. Hey, I'm canceling the agreement now. They may pitch a fit or whatever, but if it wasn't any verbiage in the contract that says you had to get their approval to cancel it, then that's going to suffice or whatever. So, but anything can be challenged. You can be sued for anything or whatever. But ideally, the earnest money is supposed to settle, and it just really cancels itself whenever the date exceeds whatever time frame you all have agreed upon. So.
Okay, not much really to do. Wow. Okay. Why do you think a seller would not agree to it?
It's all the time. You never know. Never know what they got going on. It can be. I can't even start to give you reasons. It could be anything, and none of it can be that I want to sell it to somebody else. They just change their mind. Hey, my wife divorced me. My husband divorced me now. Hey, my daughter, her husband divorced me. Why am I keep saying that? And she needs somewhere to live now. I've had that to happen. I've had deals to not go through, at least two I could think of, because now they got a child that needs somewhere to stay. So they had this house that wasn't being used or whatever. I'm like, yeah, we can't do that now. They go, hey, we need to do something there. But no, my baby needs somewhere to live now. So it can be any reason, So
All right. Sabak says closing day is tomorrow.
oh wow.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Excited for you. Hope everything goes well. Yes,
wow.
absolutely. Keep us abreast of how things go. We would love to hear about it. If you don't join us next Thursday, you can join one of the other 2 lives during the week. But yeah, let us know how that goes for you. Love to hear. Love to hear success story, guys. Absolutely. So let's see here.
Oh, for you, yeah, we love to hear that. You can send me a private note if you want to.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. There's the cash app. Ask Flipman.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. I meant I signed as a buyer in one contract. Okay, so godly blessed. Unfortunately, I don't see the rest of your question, but I think we can answer this. So as I sign as a buyer in one contract and as a seller on the other one, am I right? Yeah, that's
Yes,
pretty much
you're
it.
absolutely right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sounds like you got it. Okay, so Ty, we're about 46, almost 50 minutes in. We have quite a few people here with us today, so thank you again for all joining us. But if you missed it, the title, let me go ahead and put this screen grab back up there. There it is. You see it. The title of today's Flippinar, which is number 223, how soon should you set up an LLC to wholesale real estate? And y'all guys, I'm gonna leave that for a second. Y'all see that, right? The Rib Shack is also selling LLC. So
hey, your boy set the LLC up for
set you up right there. You can get them anywhere.
Down there, as free as tasty ribs.
So, what's the answer to that question?
You should set it up as soon as possible, but you don't need it to actually start, because some people don't have the resources, meaning the money, to actually maybe start to generate some leads, put into a marketing budget, and establish an LLC, which is only a couple $100 depending on what market you're in. It's not that expensive, but that still could be a lot of money. You may only have $200 to go towards, buying a list to cold call versus LLC. I'm gonna choose the list, and then after you do your first deal, you can put your LLC in motion. It won't kill you to do a deal in your name or whatever, but as soon as possible, you want to establish some business entity. It doesn't have to be an LLC, because you are running an actual business and you want to look the part. You want to be able to take advantage of what comes with establishing business entities, separating yourself from that whole other person, basically, or whatever, so that you control. But yeah, so you want to do it as soon as possible, but it's not needed to start. I want to make that clear, or whatever. So, but you can definitely try to get it in motion as soon as possible.
Okay.
And I just agree to that. Most importantly, I will say this: I think we sometimes overcomplicate in starting a business. And I would say just start with what you have. You have the money to invest into creating your business. Hey, you got it. But if you don't, it's okay. Start with what you have and build accordingly, and just continue to build on what you have. You don't need it to buy. You don't need LLC to buy your investment property. It's just best practice. So start with what you have. Just start with what you have.
Okay. So I'm just gonna let's go into this. It may be just three. You mentioned naturally we get it. You can start without it, especially wholesaling, but you do want to separate your personal fundings from your business fundings, and this gives you that safety net to do that, right? You also mentioned that it gives you, I guess, access to doing business other ways. So what are some benefits to having the LLC other than just separating your personal money from your business money, I guess, for legalities and whatever?
I mean, the benefit of having an LLC is the reason why you should have an LLC. It's asset protection. It allows you to lower your tax liability. It allows you to get into investing as far as like B2B investing, as far as like a lender, a private lender. We want to lend to businesses and not homeowners. So you're set up so you can take advantage of certain financing and lending, because some lenders like myself, we only lend to entities. We don't lend to individuals and homeowners. So the benefit of having an LLC is everything you need. Don't ever think that you want to operate this forever without putting your business affairs in order. That's just the proper way to do business. Can you do business without an LLC? Absolutely. But you always want to align yourself in the proper best practice of owning a business, because there's so much benefits, tax write-offs and financing options and asset protection that you really need to sustain yourself over time.
Okay. And Angel Alpetis says, I got my EIN today. Can I proceed on with that until I get my first deal? So you don't have your LLC per se, but you have registered for your EIN, which is absolutely free, guys. Is that a good spot?
Absolutely. Because really, at the end of the day, the EIN is your business social. And at the end of the day, that's what everybody really wants, is your business social, which is that EIN. But when you get an EIN and you don't turn it in and don't have an LLC connected to that, it's considered more of a sole proprietor, but it's still a entity status. So absolutely, you can do that without having your articles and your LLC articles.
All right. Thank you. So that answered the live question for today. How soon should you set up an LLC to wholesale real estate? I suggest any of you guys that missed any of that information to go back to the 46-minute mark, and you'll be able to replay that. P. Marie Fitz, I see you down in the box ready to join us. As soon as I see you go live versus your profile picture, I'll bring you on. You guys still have the opportunity to join us by texting the word Gator to 205-964-5243. We would love to have you. You can join us like Brandon did, ask your initial question and any follow-up questions that you may have. So let's see here. This one is, where is it? It was ultimately an is it a deal question, and we had some numbers in there, and I wanted to make sure I went over them, and I cannot find it. So I'm going to have to come back to that. So the next question, addict of coffee. What is the live about? Okay, I just went over that. Again, go back to the 46-minute mark and you'll be able to hear the question and title of this particular live. Jay Baby, glad you were able to get into that Facebook group just that quick. You see the CRM and you will add it to your list. That's great. So GQ Buys, for anyone out there, they're in Dallas, Fort Worth, and they're looking to connect with fellow investors and wholesalers. For you, I would also suggest that you get on to the group. Rose, I think we had this question last week, but we'll ask it again because you may not have been here. The question is, should you drive for dollars in a bad neighborhood?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Be safe.
I think you're gonna the greatest gold is in the worst neighborhood. The best real estate is in the worst neighborhoods.
Okay, there you have it. I did find that comment with the numbers. It's from B. Sewell. So I have a contract. Got the contract today for $83,000. The ARV is in the range of $225 to $250. Maybe about $35,000 max on rehab. The question is, where do I find a hedge fund buyer? So let's answer that. Then let's see, why does it have to be a hedge fund buyer? I guess let's talk about the benefits of that and how easy or hard is that to do, and just the numbers. We didn't even decide whether this was even a deal. Is this a deal?
Yeah, it's a deal. $35,000. You can pick it up for $83,000. Only needs $35,000 worth of work. It's definitely a deal. It's a
Okay.
deal. I mean, yeah, it's a deal. But the question, what you just stated, why does it have to be a hedge fund buyer? I mean that could be any buyer, because that seems like a really, really good
Oh,
deal.
yeah, you should be able to move that. If those numbers are true, you should be able to move that with no problem.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. P. Marie, come back. You were there and then you disappeared.
I'm your hedge fund. Reach out to me.
Oh,
Right. What is it? I'm the
okay.
hedge fund.
Oh, okay. That sounds like a shirt. I'm the hedge fund. I am the hedge fund. So we just talked about LLC. So I'm gonna say Jean Bart. I have an LLC registered in Texas, but now I live in Florida. Can I use the Texas LLC to do business in Florida? Good question. Like, do you have to transfer it?
That's a really great question. So she said she have an LLC in Texas, but you want to do business in Florida.
Right.
So how this works? So when you are buying real estate outside of the state that your entity resides, you will have to get a foreign entity in that state. You have to get a foreign entity in that state or create a new entity with the residence or address of that state.
But now, if she just wholesaling, though, it won't. That
Yeah, it won't matter if you're wholesale. No. If you're actually taking possession and buying. If you're taking possession and buying.
Okay, gotcha. So there is a difference. There's a difference there, but you can wholesale.
You can wholesale. Yeah, you can wholesale.
Okay, well, that's good. That's good. Let's see here.
As long as you don't take possession.
I am new to real estate. What would you recommend would be the best for me to get started doing real estate wholesaling in Dallas, Texas, or what would be great? It's actually a different one, but it's the same place. So yeah, if you come back to the beginning of this, kind of answered that earlier for you, Chris, and that would, if you just start over at the beginning of this live, you would be able to get that question answered if you wanted to. Okay, let's see here. Y'all aren't really posting a lot of questions today. I think I am at the end. Okay. Yeah, P. Marie, still waiting for you to join.
We got us still.
Hold on. I was overlooking. There we go. No, I like it. Keep seeing the trees and then disappears. So okay. Hold on, I see it. Okay, so she chatted in the private chat. She says she's camera shy. I need help. Can someone reach out to me for 50-50? I'm having trouble finding buyers and sellers. I need suggestions. I'm finding a lot of properties with agents. I've set the filters all kind of ways. What is the best way to find owners?
What market are you in? This video here, you need to watch this video here because it's easy to avoid listed properties. They have a filter to do that.
What are we looking for? List?
Just text the word list. This video will show you how to avoid listed properties. Simple.
Okay. All right. Text the word list there. Didn't follow up in the chat there. So we're just going to move on. Rennie. Boom. Rennie, you're up. You know what time it is.
Yes. As always, super thankful to be a part of the Flipman Show. My name is Rennie Q. Williams. I'm one of the owners of a private lending company and just specialize in financing your real estate deals. We specialize in fix and flip financing, 90% purchase, 100% of your rehab, new construction, up to 65% of your land costs, 100% of your development costs. If you're looking to build portfolios, because I think the new wave is name your rental income, because people are going to pay because they don't want to buy. But if you're looking to buy and build a rental portfolio, we lend up to 80% of the purchase. None of our residential property financing options require tax returns, income verification. We're not calling your employer to see if you are employed. As long as you have the money to buy, we have the ability to finance it. But if you are interested in any of our financing options, just go to fundmynextdeal.com.
All right, guys, there you have it. Fund my.
Throw a number.
I am once I get to when I get to the other one. I'm just going back here and here. Okay, guys, as she stated, so she's available across all social media platforms. You can reach her there, and also on the screen you will see a contact number. I know some of you guys want additional ways to get in touch with Renikia. There it is, right there on your screen: 770-246-2307.
And I'm very text friendly on that number, so feel free to text me.
See. All right, Ty.
All right, guys. We really appreciate everyone joining us tonight. If you didn't get your question answered, post it in the comment section of any video, and we'll answer those for you. I answer those pretty much on a daily basis. Make sure you text VIP to the number so you can get that step-by-step video. That'll get you going. So text the letters VIP all together, no periods. So we appreciate both lovely young ladies assisting us with tonight's show. And as I always like to say, guys, we'll see you on the flip side.
Make sure you like and subscribe. Hammer that button.
Text me and I'll text you back.
Text me, and I'll text you back.
Text me and I'll text you back.
You text me, then I'll text you back.
Text me and I'll text you back.
TikTok, you don't stop.
I will help you make your paper stack.
Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at now?
205.